Well, hello again there, YouTube. We got storms on the horizon, so I'm not gonna go for a very long ride. I don't commute with my bike, so it's for pleasure, so I'm not gonna ride in the rain unless I have to. This past weekend I installed the Power Commander V and did a little bit of a test ride. Everything seemed to work pretty good. Power delivery seemed fine. It didn't have any problems with stalling. I still get a little popping in the low RPMs under decel, and honestly, after doing a little research, the Power Commander won't do anything about that, because the way it's set up, your Power Commander only takes care of fueling and ignition above 40% throttle, and only in the upper part of the power band because of the closed loop control system of the... Yeah, so sorry about the distraction there. Anyways, there's a closed loop system where the bike tries to maintain an AFR, and so it prevents the fuel controller from really doing anything in that RPM range, from my understanding. And so we're going to get it up to temperature, go for a little bit of a cruise. I filmed quite a bit this past week and had some issues with audio, and hopefully I won't tonight. It's extremely windy. You might notice that I'm actually leaning to the left. That's because there's a strong crosswind coming out of the west right now, and yeah, it's pretty pathetic. So anyways, I was saying I had some audio issues with my mic. I bought some microphones. There's some flexible mics from Hong Kong, and one of them had been working great, and I'd used it several times, and I guess at some point I switched to the other one without really knowing it, and it caused all sorts of crackling and popping and issues. So I'm back to the original mic. Hopefully it is better. We will see here in a minute. Man, it is just super windy. I'm gonna go a little bit different route than I planned just because of the wind. Get out of town a little bit here, and we can do some roll-ons at the higher RPMs and the upper gears a little bit, and see that the fueling and all that is working good. I was looking at the Power Commander software, and the map that I downloaded that's specifically for a stock Bolt intake and the Vance and Hines slip-on seems to advance the timing by a factor of 2, which I assume is 2%, but I'd have to do my research. It's just that in the upper RPMs, at upper throttles, there's 2s in all those fields. I assume that means it advances it a little bit, because I've heard that the timing is retarded on this bike, which affects the top end. So let's see if that makes a difference. Feels like it pulls a little better at the top. I don't know that my peak power's increased by much, but certainly I'm making more power on top than I used to. I'm not getting quite as much drop off at the top end. It used to be that the power would start to drop off before I'd hit the rev limiter enough that I wouldn't even do it, because I'd feel it drop off and I'd shift. But I about hit the rev limiter in second and third, so you might be able to tell it is super windy. I don't know what the wind is, but I think it's 25 to 30 with gusts. I know one thing, the roar of the wind is loud enough that the bike sounds quiet. definitely get a lot of pops. I think I get more pops than I was getting before, but if I am, I'm gonna have to blame it on the O2 optimizer, not the Power Commander, because my understanding is the O2 optimizer is the only thing that really has any effect on lower RPMs and lower throttle percentages. I must say it's about as windy as I've ever ridden in. We've had a lot of thunderstorms today, and so I'm kind of just getting out between the storms here. We'll probably get some more later tonight. Yeah, I can barely hear myself scream right now. It's so windy. So here in basically 2 weeks, I'm going to be going to Georgia for the Georgia Motor Vlogger meetup. I Am Ramekin and Chase on Two Wheels are the main hosts of that, I believe. And let's see, today's the 9th, and that's going to be on the 23rd that we're going to head down there. The event's on the 24th. But we are going to ride to Dalton, Georgia, and stay there overnight on Thursday, and then on Friday we're going to ride up and do the Tail of the Dragon on Friday, and just kind of take our time doing that, have a little fun with that, and then ride back to Dalton, and then Saturday we'll be there for the meetup. I've got 4 or 5 other guys that are riding down with me, and it should be pretty fun. There is a meetup in Illinois on Saturday. They call it the Moonshine Ride, and basically a bunch of bikes converge on a little town in southeastern Illinois called Moonshine. It's right by Casey, Illinois, if you're familiar. It's not super far from where Peoria, Illinois is. Anyways, the plan is to go to that, but right now it's looking like it's going to be 36 degrees Saturday morning when we would need to leave, and might not break 50 before about noon, so we might not make it. I'd sure love to go, but I don't really have gear appropriate for that. I have a warmer jacket, but my only gloves are summer gloves. If I had a cruise control, I could sit on my throttle hand for a minute here and there, but I don't, so that doesn't really make that a possibility. I don't know if you can see, but it's super windy. So I was pretty disappointed. This past week I filmed probably 3 hours of blogs, or vlogs, and my audio was horrible. Lots of crackling and popping, fading in and out and stuff due to a bad mic, so that has me pretty bummed. I might end up taking some of that footage and just dubbing over it with something. I hate to do that because nothing bothers me more than engine sounds being covered by music or whatnot, but I hate to waste all that footage too. Maybe I could do some sort of sped up music kind of thing or something. See how many people that annoys. Well, I'm going to say the fuel Power Commander is a success. Seems to have helped on the top end. I had no expectations of it helping on the low end based on what I had read, so the low end still just as temperamental as it ever was. So anyways, getting close to home, and I'm gonna wrap it up. We will catch you on the next one. Take care. Listen to that. That's worse than it was before. That's just insane. I will have to change my writings now just to eliminate some of that, which I don't have a problem doing.